Just gross.
So
yeah.
my understanding that Natalia is the female, and would that make Catalyst you?
No, he's just some troubled little boy who's, the girl's got to have a companion, a guide, and since he's lived there for like over 150 years, you see, I played with the time factor where for every 20 days that goes by, the body in that dimension only ages 1 day. And so he's been kicking around a while. He's just 10, that's all, because of the time passage. But I was able to explain that in there. I did it really quickly. A few people that I've talked to about it had missed it. But then again, they were only quickly glancing at the book. They never actually read it when I was doing previous interviews.
Right.
So, but, he's just some kid.
I understand that you're a strong believer that in addition to providing entertainment, young adult books should provide empowering and encouraging messages. What empowering and encouraging messages are found in Liquid Diamond?
Well, most of that stuff is based around the girl. It's herself. She's able to solve the riddles before Catalyst gets through it. She outthinks him. She strives harder, and she's just got the ability to get things done. And basically, in the real world, a woman will work 10 times harder than a man for 75% of the pay, right? And so I try to incorporate that kind of strength within her. She can do it, and it doesn't mean anything in regards to her gender. She's got the ability, and she exercises that. So that was the message coming across in there.
I understand that your ultimate goal is to promote literacy and creativity. How are you going to do this?
Well, I'll get the book out there and let people know that I'm dyslexic, and I wrote a book, and I'm writing another one, and 2 more after that. All I got to do is open up the dictionary a couple of thousand times for each book and get the words right. And as long as I can do that, the dyslexia, it doesn't hold me back. It just slows it down a little bit, but it doesn't stop it.
For our listeners who may not know what dyslexia is, what can you describe it to them?
Well, I can read, but the part of dyslexia that I suffer from is not being able to really spell. Because I could read and read very well, I never realized I couldn't spell that well. And because of that, it went on for years where these mistakes were happening. And I can only imagine what my applications must have looked like when I was applying for jobs, but nobody ever pointed it out to me that this was a problem. So, some people can't spell and read, but I can read. I just can't spell all that great. And that's a bit of a hindrance, but I'm working straight through it with the help of 2 dictionaries.
Tell me, what about when you were going to school, elementary school, high school? Wasn't anything discovered by your teachers?
Yeah, I'm sure that they absolutely did know, but those kids that slip through the cracks? Well, I was the one that was pushed through it. Just a lot of grief, I guess, with me, and they didn't want much to do with it.
But what about your parents? What about your relatives? Didn't they notice that there was a problem with the spelling?
Well, you grow up, I guess, in a house where there's not a lot of encouragement, things like that, and you've only got the one parent that's there, and you're surrounded by poverty and everything else. Nobody's going to take the time to point that out. That family in the neighborhood, the one that nobody wants there because they don't have the financial status as everybody else. Well, we were that family. And, it's basically who cares, right? And this is one of the things that I do care about because when I see it, even in Peterborough here, where there's a lot of poverty, I see all this potential in these children, and it's just like somebody, if you just pump their ego a little bit, it'll get a lot better over the course of time.
Where do you think the problem lies? Do you think the problem lies at home, or do you think the problem lies in school, or is it a combination of both?
Oh, it's absolutely a combination of both. Plus, it's a combination of the playground as well, because the kids know, and so at school the teachers are lacking. In the playground, they're usually, I wouldn't say usually, but a lot of times they're singled out. And at home, if the poverty is thick and there's no encouragement, there's just no encouragement, and there's no growth that way because everything is ignored and it lacks at that point. So, I see it all the time. It happened with me. I recognize it everywhere. And if they just take 5 minutes and pump the kid's ego over the course of months to come, everything will get a lot better because the kid will be encouraged. Like if I had known this now or then, what I know now about my dyslexia, I would have tried to fix it a long time ago. But anyway, that's that, I guess.
I'm still amazed that nobody brought it to your attention. To me, that shows a big fallacy in the system. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're white, whether you're black, yellow, whether you're Anglican, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Muslim, you still should be treated the same.
Well, you got to understand, though, 35 years ago, the teachers aren't like they are today. They didn't have the education then for even them that they do now. Teachers are just better trained.
Yeah. Sebastien, please stand by. You and I have to take our news break at the bottom of the hour. We'll be back. Exonation, Sebastien Blue is my guest this hour. He's the author of Liquid Diamond. His website is www.sebastianblue.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. Our website is xzoneradiotv.com. And you can always send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. Sebastien Blue is my guest. We'll be back on the other side of this news break. Don't go away. Are you considering calling a psychic to read your situation? Then consider David Champion, a psychic medium for more than 20 years with thousands of readings under his belt. David Champion will make you feel comfortable. He has proven to be honest and accurate. He's a straight shooter. There's no guesswork. What he sees is what you get. While he is a medium, most of the calls focus on relationships, not only love, but work, school, neighbors, and more. Need help with finding a job and preparing for the interview? Are you dealing with people who are obstacles in your path? For more information, go to davidchampion.com, $1.50 per minute paid by credit card with a minimum of 30 minutes. For your reading with David Champion, call 1-877-702-8598. That's 1-877-702-8598. Now you can dial in to listen to the X-Zone radio show from anywhere in the world with Rob McConnell 24/7, 365 by dialing 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080. If you have a mobile phone or landline, the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell is now at your beck and call at 213-401-0080. That's 213-401-0080, 24/7, 365.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing for the X-Zone for the week of April 28th. The sun will look like a ring of fire above some remote parts of the southern hemisphere on Tuesday during a solar eclipse, but most people around the world won't get a chance to see it. Whereas lunar eclipses occur when there's a full moon, the solar eclipse only happens during a new moon. Half the world saw the blood moon lunar eclipse during the full moon of April 15th. Tuesday's eclipse will occur when the moon is closest to its farthest distance from the Earth, making it too small to cover the sun completely. The resulting effect looks like a ring of fire called an annulus, and that appears as a silhouette around the moon. Remember, when there's a new moon, there's no moon at all. The worldly application of a Taurus solar eclipse is to help you get in touch with your core values. It blocks out personal ego desires to go right to what your inner spirit wants to manifest. The opportunity is to bring higher values and greater beauty into your life now. The new moon and solar eclipse on Tuesday may send the world into a mild tizzy. Watch North Korea and the Ukraine for major upsets with government. But you will get another opportunity to consolidate whatever advantages you have gained over the past few months. A Taurus new moon is excellent for putting practical effort into your needs and desires. Health and wellness options get a boost early in the week, perhaps prompting you to consider a new diet or exercise routine. There's also positive news on the work front, as changes can mean a boost in earnings or a promotion. If you've been applying for a new job, you may get some good news. Later, Venus glides into Aries, which brings romance and pleasure. Look, your love life is looking much livelier. Enjoy a few social outings. It might help take your mind off some more stressful matters. Perhaps you want to make some changes in your home, new furniture, paint, whatever. Whatever comes your way, you'll probably put a lot of energy into it, so focus and accomplish what you want. Because there's lots of planets in unmovable signs, Taurus and Scorpio, as May opens on Thursday, be careful of stubborn my way or the highway thinking. Warrior Mars is still retrograde until May 19th. Consider what is dead in your life and needs to be released. Know that your highest path is shown if you go into your inner self to seek direction. Continue with hard work early in the week, and then make time for a variety of fun as the month of April ends under a Gemini moon. Gemini wants to keep things on the move, talk to a lot of people, and does not get bogged down in any one thing. Enjoy May Day and the Kentucky Derby on Sunday. Time to plan for some summer fun.
And for more information on Elizabeth Joyce, or if you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one private consultation, she does worldwide readings via Skype. Her website is www.new-visions.com. Her email address is elizabeth.joyce.email@gmail.com. And her Skype address is elizabeth.joyce. Exonation, my guest this hour is Sebastien Blue. He's the author of Liquid Diamond. His website is www.sebastianblue.com. Sebastien, it sounds like you have a lot to offer the system, and I'm wondering if you've approached the educational system with your own experience and said, "Hey, wake up, listen, things have to change. This is my story, and I want to help."
No, actually, I personally haven't done that. You see, here in Peterborough, where I currently reside, like I grew up out in Mississauga. I moved out here about 10 years ago. They have an advocacy force out here for things like that, and they are manning a war against dyslexia in all its forms, and they shut down one of their high schools out here last year, and even Rick Mercer himself jumped on board with their campaign to fight to keep that in particular school open. And the war that they're waging, I'm so far behind in what they're doing that I fear I'd just be a hindrance to them, other than the fact that they could say, look, here's another one that it happened to. But if there was anything I could do for them, I'd absolutely do it. I mean, now that you bring that to my attention, maybe I should get in contact with these people and let them just know that it's there if they want to use it.
I think you should. I think you have a lot to offer.
Good idea. I think I'll get in touch with them, actually.
There you go, my friend.
What's tomorrow? Friday? I'll get in touch with them by the afternoon.
Listen, I have to ask you a question. During the commercial break, Craig asked me a question if I'd ask you, and he wants to know, and now I want to know too, ever since that he's asked the question, why did you go to Russia to find someone where there's plenty of single ladies in Canada?
Oh, I was just bored one day, and I was just on a computer that I had, and I was just browsing, and this site came up, so I